Listen closely, because what I'm about to reveal is not a prediction. It's a spiritual transmission meant for the ones who are truly connected. And if this message has reached you today, especially this Wednesday, understand something clearly. You were guided here. There is a shift happening in the unseen. A disturbance in the energetic field that only true twin flames can feel. And at the center of this cosmic trembling stands the divine masculine. He is suffering. He is crying in silence. He is feeling a pain so deep that it shakes him to his core. And no matter how far he has run, no matter how strong his walls once were, his soul is collapsing into one undeniable truth. He wants to return. But why now? Why today? What has awakened this unbearable longing inside him? Because something powerful is unfolding behind the veil. A pull stronger than logic, stronger than fear, stronger than separation itself. The universe is rearranging timelines, whispering to him, pushing him, calling him home. So if you're listening to this, if your heart is beating a little faster, if your intuition has already begun to rise, then stay with me. Because what you are about to hear is the hidden journey of the divine masculine. The truth he never spoke. The emotions he never shared. And the reason he is finally being pulled back to the divine feminine. Let's begin. The divine masculine is currently walking through one of the most intense inner landscapes of his entire soul journey. What he is facing within himself is not just emotional discomfort, it is a profound unraveling of lifetimes of conditioning, pain, and ego-based identity. At this moment, he stands at the threshold between his old self and the sacred, awakened masculine he is destined to become. And this transformation, though divinely orchestrated, is challenging him in ways he never expected. Inside his heart, old wounds that he believed were buried are rising to the surface with incredible force. Childhood traumas, past betrayals, heartbreaks he never properly healed from, and deep-seated fears he has avoided for years are all resurfacing at once. The divine masculine is being guided to face everything he once escaped. His soul will no longer allow him to hide behind logic, denial, or emotional detachment. What once protected him has now transformed into the very weight that is suffocating him. He is confronting his shadow, the part of him that has been neglected, feared, or rejected. This shadow holds the pieces of him that carry pain, guilt, shame, and unresolved anger. But it also holds the keys to his awakening. By facing his shadow with honesty, he is reclaiming parts of himself he thought were lost forever. He is learning that his shadow is not his enemy. It is the doorway back to his true self. This internal battle feels like a war between two versions of him. The version shaped by survival, conditioned to suppress love, resist vulnerability, and protect himself at all costs. And the version shaped by the soul, yearning for truth, intimacy, connection, and divine union. The clash between these two selves creates an internal turbulence that can feel overwhelming. Some days he feels strong and clear, ready to move toward his destiny. Other days, fear drags him back into old loops and patterns. This push and pull is not a sign of failure. It is evidence that he is transforming at the deepest levels of his being. This turbulence is happening because his soul is urgently pushing him to evolve. He cannot stay where he once was, not spiritually, not emotionally, and not energetically. The connection with the divine feminine has awakened a part of him that refuses to remain asleep. Even when he tries to deny the depth of this bond, something inside him whispers the truth. Even when he runs, something inside him pulls him back. Even when he hides, something inside him seeks her light. The truth of this connection is becoming undeniable, and with that truth, his resistance dissolves little by little. Each moment of pain reveals another layer of clarity. Each breakdown brings him closer to breakthrough. Each shadow he confronts brings him closer to alignment. He is starting to understand that this journey is not happening to him, it is happening for him. It is shaping him into the partner, leader, and soul counterpart he was always meant to be. As he battles his shadow self, he is learning what it truly means to be a divine masculine, not the distorted masculine shaped by fear, pride, or societal expectation, but the healed masculine shaped by courage, authenticity, and unconditional love. He is learning to replace avoidance with presence, ego with truth, and fear with devotion. And through it all, he feels the energetic presence of the divine feminine, her compassion guiding him, her strength inspiring him, her soul calling him home. Even if he says nothing, even if he keeps his distance, he feels her. She is the anchor that reminds him of who he is becoming. His journey through the shadows is not a sign of weakness, it is the birth of the awakened masculine. It is the moment his soul finally takes the lead, guiding him back to truth, unity, and divine love. The divine masculine's emotional numbness is one of the most misunderstood phases of his spiritual awakening. To the outside world, it may appear as if he has shut down, withdrawn, or stopped caring. But beneath that quiet surface, beneath the silence and distance, something profound is happening within him. What looks like coldness is actually a profound defense mechanism, one born not from indifference, but from overwhelming love that he has not yet learned how to hold. For most of his life, the masculine has been conditioned to stay in control. Control over his environment, control over his choices, and most importantly, control over his emotions. Vulnerability has never felt safe to him. Love, especially deep soul love, asks him to open parts of himself he has spent years protecting. When he begins to feel the intensity of the twin flame connection, the magnitude of that love floods him with sensations he has no framework to understand. This is where emotional numbness begins, not as a lack of feeling, but as too much feeling. His heart is experiencing expansion at a level he has never known before. His soul is awakening to a bond that defies logic, distance, and time. But his mind, trained for practicality and self-preservation, cannot keep up with the pace of this heart awakening. The result is a temporary shutdown, a pause, a freezing of emotional expression. It is the soul saying, "This is too big to process all at once," and the mind responding, "Let's protect ourselves until we understand what's happening." This numbness is a fear response, one triggered by love, not the absence of it. He is not running because he doesn't care. He is running because he cares in a way he has never cared before. The intensity terrifies him. The depth of recognition unsettles him. The inexplicable sense of home he feels with the divine feminine shakes him in ways he cannot explain, even to himself. His systems, mental, emotional, and energetic, temporarily shut down to prevent overload. Think of it as spiritual insulation. A temporary energetic cocoon. Inside this cocoon, he is processing, integrating, adjusting. His soul is expanding, but expansion is not always comfortable. Sometimes it feels like breaking, sometimes like confusion, sometimes like numbness. He is recalibrating his entire emotional operating system so he can eventually hold the connection with clarity, stability, and presence. The divine masculine is not drifting away, he is being rewired. He is learning how to feel without being overwhelmed, how to love without panicking, how to open without losing his sense of identity. And while this phase can be painful to witness, especially for the divine feminine, it is a necessary part of his awakening. The numbness is not rejection. It is not abandonment. It is not the end of the story. It is a spiritual protection phase designed to stabilize him as he navigates the realm of unconditional love for perhaps the first time in lifetimes. Behind the emotional silence, his inner world is anything but quiet. His thoughts keep returning to the divine feminine. His soul keeps pulling him back toward the connection. His body reacts to her energy even when he tries to ignore it. And his heart, though temporarily shielded, is still beating in rhythm with hers. He feels the connection, deeply, intensely, constantly. He simply does not yet know how to express it safely. With time, patience, and divine orchestration, the numbness will fade. The defense mechanism will soften. His heart and mind will synchronize. He will begin to feel again, fully, deeply, courageously. And when he does, he will return with a level of emotional presence and devotion he could not have accessed without this period of stillness. The emotional shutdown is only temporary. The love, however, is eternal. This is the quiet phase before the awakening. The pause before the breakthrough. The stillness before the divine masculine learns to love with both his heart and his soul fully aligned. The divine masculine's jealousy is one of the most deeply concealed aspects of his awakening, and yet it is also one of the clearest signs of the depth of his love. This jealousy is not loud, not dramatic, not expressed in obvious ways. It is quiet. It is internal. It exists beneath layers of emotional restraint. But make no mistake, he feels it intensely. Even in separation, even in silence, the divine masculine senses the divine feminine's energy shifting. He can feel when she is pulling away, when she is healing, when she is becoming lighter, stronger, more sovereign. He feels her evolving into her power, and while a part of him admires this transformation, another part of him fears it. Her growth, though beautiful, challenges his old belief that he has time to heal, time to return, time to make his way back to her. Suddenly, that timeline feels fragile. On a soul level, he feels threatened by the idea of losing her in the physical world. Not because he wants to control her, and not because he believes she belongs to him in an earthly sense, but because his soul recognizes her as home. She is the one presence that brings him back into remembrance of who he truly is. To the human part of him, this connection feels overwhelming, but to the soul part of him, it feels sacred and irreplaceable. The thought of another person holding her heart shakes him in ways he cannot articulate. This fear is not grounded in egoic possessiveness. It is rooted in soul memory. His jealousy is not born from insecurity. It is born from recognition. Recognition of their eternal bond. Recognition that they chose each other long before this lifetime. Recognition that the divine feminine's energy is something no one else has ever been able to replicate in his life, or ever will. At the core of the masculine's jealousy lies a profound fear of displacement. Though he may have distanced himself or chosen paths that separated them, he never expected the divine feminine to truly move on. In his heart, he believed there would always be a thread connecting them, an invisible assurance that she would wait, that she would hold space, that the bond would remain untouched by time or circumstance. So when he senses her energy softening toward him, when he feels her detaching, healing, or opening herself to new possibilities, something inside him panics. This panic is not rooted in entitlement. It is a soul-level alarm signaling that he is out of alignment with his destiny. His jealousy becomes a mirror, reflecting emotions he has suppressed for far too long. It reflects his longing. It reflects his regret. It reflects his emerging awareness that he has always loved her. And it reflects the truth that losing her would feel like losing a part of himself. This jealousy forces him to confront parts of himself he has denied. His desire to be chosen. His yearning for connection. His capacity for deep love. And his fear of unworthiness. It becomes a spiritual teacher, awakening his buried emotions and shaking him awake from the illusions he has been living in. Jealousy becomes the flame that burns away his denial, revealing the raw truth beneath. He wants her, he needs her, he loves her, and the thought of her love belonging to someone else feels unbearable. Yet this fear of loss is also the catalyst he needs. It pushes him into self-reflection. It forces him to examine the choices he has made. It awakens in him a determination he didn't know he possessed. This jealousy is not destructive, it is transformative. It is the soul's way of saying, "You are meant to rise for this connection. You are meant to show up. You are meant to reclaim what your soul chose long before your mind understood it." The masculine's hidden jealousy is sacred. It is a sign of awakening, not weakness. It is a sign of recognition, not control. It is a sign that the divine feminine's evolution is triggering his own. And through this jealousy, he is remembering. She is not just someone he loves. She is the one his soul refuses to lose. The divine masculine is stepping into a period of profound karmic clearing, a spiritual storm that is stripping away every layer of his old identity. What is happening in his external world may look chaotic, abrupt, or even painful, but at the deepest level, it is divine intervention. The universe is dismantling every relationship, habit, an environment that is not aligned with his higher purpose or his eventual union with the divine feminine. This collapse is not punishment, it is liberation. Right now, he may find that the life he once felt comfortable in is becoming unbearably tight, like a skin he has outgrown. People he once connected with feel foreign. Environments he once thrived in now drain his energy. Workplaces, friendships, or karmic partners may suddenly lose their meaning. What once felt stable now feels empty. The universe is making it impossible for him to return to his old life because that life no longer aligns with his awakened soul. These endings are not coincidental. They are divinely orchestrated resets. Every karmic cycle that collapses is a door closing so that the true path can finally open. The masculine is being guided, sometimes gently, sometimes forcefully, away from relationships and situations that kept him stagnant or asleep. Anything built on fear, comfort, or illusion is being shaken loose. Anything based on superficial attachment or ego-based identity is crumbling. He is being stripped down to his essence. This may manifest as unexpected breakups, sudden tension in friendships, career shifts, financial disruptions, or a deep emotional exhaustion that makes it impossible to continue pretending. His soul is pushing him to confront what he has avoided for years, the truth of his heart and the truth of his path. The collapse of the old is not a mistake. It is the universe removing everything that blocks the rise of the awakened masculine. When karmic cycles end, the masculine often experiences a period of confusion. He may wonder why he no longer resonates with the people or places that once defined him. He may question why habits that once numbed him now create anxiety. He may feel restless, disconnected, or disoriented. This is the spiritual withdrawal phase, the in-between space where the old has fallen away but the new has not yet fully arrived. In this space, he is being reborn. As these karmic cycles dissolve, the divine masculine is forced to confront the parts of himself he avoided through distraction, work, relationships, or survival mechanisms. Without the noise of the old life, his inner voice becomes louder. His intuition sharpens. His heart becomes more sensitive. He begins to feel the full weight of his spiritual destiny. The masculine often fears these endings because they require him to release control. Yet every collapse carries a blessing. Every ending contains a seed of rebirth. What he perceives as loss is actually divine realignment. What he sees falling apart is making space for what his soul has been calling in for lifetimes. And at the center of this realignment is the divine feminine. As he sheds outdated karmic ties, he is energetically moving closer to her, even if he doesn't consciously understand it yet. Each ending clears a layer of interference. Each collapse strengthens the pull toward the connection he once resisted. The universe is preparing him to show up for her, and for himself, without the weight of unresolved karma. He is rising out of the ashes of his old life. He is stepping out of illusion and into authenticity. He is reclaiming his true path, his spiritual authority, and his soul purpose. And though this phase may feel like destruction, it is the sacred destruction required for the divine masculine to awaken fully. Without the collapse of the old, he cannot build the life aligned with his destiny. Without these endings, he cannot stand in the fullness of who he is meant to become. The rise of the awakened masculine begins here. In the unraveling, in the breaking, and ultimately, in the rebirth that follows. One of the most profound signs of the divine masculine's awakening is the quiet, powerful rise of telepathic sensitivity between him and the divine feminine. Even if the two are not speaking in the physical world, even if distance or silence lies between them, the energetic connection continues to communicate in ways far more intimate than words ever could. As the masculine evolves, this telepathy becomes impossible to ignore. He begins to feel her emotions, thoughts, and energetic shifts as if they were echoes within his own heart. There is no logical explanation that his mind can grasp, yet he intuitively knows when something changes within her. If she is sad, his chest feels heavy. If she is pulling away, he feels an unexplained tension or emptiness. If she is blossoming into empowerment, he senses a surge of warmth, pride, or gentle inspiration. He may not always understand the source of these feelings, but he feels them deeply and undeniably. This telepathic bond becomes especially strong in moments of silence. When the physical world goes quiet, the soul steps forward. When the divine feminine withdraws her energy or begins her healing, the masculine feels a sudden shift, almost like a subtle emotional shockwave. And when she sends love, forgiveness, or compassion, he feels it too, even if he tries to resist it. The separation, rather than severing the connection, actually amplifies the telepathic communication because the soul has no distractions to hide behind. Dreams become another sacred meeting place. During sleep, when his ego is quiet and his defenses fall away, he encounters her in vivid dreams, visions, or symbolic messages. In the astral realm, they meet with the ease and clarity that the physical world often suppresses. He might see her face, hear her voice, or feel her presence. Sometimes the dreams are comforting, sometimes they are awakening, sometimes they are confrontational, but always, they feel real and meaningful. These dreams leave him waking with emotions he cannot explain and a subtle knowing that the connection is alive and active. The telepathy also intensifies during heightened emotional states. When the masculine feels overwhelmed, anxious, or confused, the divine feminine's energy often rises within him like a whisper of reassurance. He may feel her calming presence or hear her intuitive guidance without understanding why. Similarly, when she goes through deep emotional waves, he feels an internal shift that mirrors her experience. It is as though their hearts are communicating through a shared frequency, a vibration that bypasses distance and logic. This is not imagination, it is soul communication. Their energetic cord is alive, glowing, and spiritually intelligent. It activates his intuitive remembrance of the eternal bond they share. Even when his mind doubts, his soul recognizes her. Even when his logic tries to dismiss these sensations, his spirit knows the truth. She is not just someone from his past or present, she is part of his essence. This recognition grows stronger with every telepathic experience, gently guiding him back toward her. The masculine may resist at first. He may deny the intensity, ignore the dreams, or attempt to shut down the sensations. But over time, the telepathic communication becomes too consistent, too emotionally accurate, too spiritually aligned to dismiss. It becomes a quiet teacher, pulling him deeper into awareness of the connection and deeper into awareness of himself. This telepathy is not meant to confuse him, it is meant to awaken him. It shows him the truth that his heart has always known: the divine feminine is part of his soul's blueprint. They are energetically intertwined. Distance cannot destroy it. Silence cannot weaken it. Time cannot erase it. Their bond was formed long before this lifetime and extends far beyond anything the physical realm can contain. As his telepathic sensitivity grows, so does his remembrance. Of their purpose, of their history, and of the love that will eventually lead him back home. As the divine masculine moves deeper into his spiritual transformation, one of the most powerful catalysts guiding his awakening is the realm of dreams and astral encounters. These nighttime experiences are not random, nor are they simply the workings of imagination. They are deliberate soul communications, vivid, symbolic, and profoundly meaningful. When the physical world becomes confusing or overwhelming, the astral world steps in and delivers messages straight to his soul, bypassing every barrier the ego tries to build. The masculine begins to experience dreams with striking clarity, dreams so real that he wakes up with emotions that linger throughout the day. In these dreams, he may see the divine feminine clearly, feel her presence, or engage in conversations that feel strangely familiar. Sometimes the dreamscape mirrors a past life, a shared memory, or a future moment of union. Other times it takes the form of symbolic messages, guiding him toward healing, surrender, or understanding. No matter the form, these dreams are purposeful. They hold meaning his waking mind is not yet ready to receive. The astral realm is a space where both twins meet without resistance. When the masculine's ego sleeps, his soul awakens. His defenses fall. His fears quiet. His logical mind, which normally struggles to make sense of this connection, has no control. It cannot deny what it sees and feels on the astral plane. Instead, his soul steps forward, revealing truths that his conscious self would normally avoid. Through these encounters, he experiences a form of emotional honesty that he struggles to access in the physical world. In the astral realm, the divine feminine and divine masculine communicate freely. Their souls speak without words. Their energies intertwine without restraint. He may feel her touch, hear her voice, or see her eyes in ways that feel stronger than any physical experience they ever shared. These meetings leave emotional imprints that are impossible to ignore. He wakes up with a sense of longing, clarity, or recognition that transforms his perception of the connection. These dreams often carry sacred guidance. He may receive visions of the next steps he must take, warnings about karmic paths that no longer serve him, or reminders of the soul contract they share. He may be shown symbolic images, doors opening, bridges forming, light paths, or energetic merging, that represent his progress toward union. Some dreams reveal memories from past lifetimes, reminding him that this love is not new, but ancient. Others show glimpses of timelines where union has already occurred, giving him hope and motivation to continue evolving. These astral experiences serve a larger purpose. They accelerate his awakening. Even if he tries to suppress his emotions during the day, the nighttime realm makes it impossible to escape the truth. The dreams trigger an inner knowing he cannot unfeel. They unravel illusions. They expose the depth of his love. They illuminate the spiritual nature of the connection. When he wakes, he may not fully understand what he experienced, but he knows something profound has shifted within him. These encounters also soften his resistance. Each dream dismantles another layer of fear, pride, confusion, or denial. Each astral meeting strengthens the emotional bond he feels but struggles to express. Each vision activates dormant memories of the soul contract, pulling him closer to his path. He begins to see signs in the waking world that mirror the dream messages, creating a bridge between his spiritual awareness and physical reality. With time, these dreams become impossible to dismiss. They haunt him, heal him, guide him, and awaken him. They reveal truths that his waking self is slowly learning to accept. Most importantly, they reconnect him to the divine feminine with an intensity that transcends separation. Through dreams, his soul remembers what his mind has forgotten, that their connection is eternal, inevitable, and divinely orchestrated. These nighttime encounters are not illusions. They are the soul's way of preparing him for what is to come. They are the gentle but powerful force accelerating his conscious awakening, bringing him step by step closer to the truth of who he is, and who he is destined to return to. As the divine masculine awakens, one of the most powerful and undeniable signs of his transformation is the expansion of the heart chakra. This expansion does not happen gently. It does not unfold quietly. It often arrives in waves, physical, emotional, and energetic, that shake him from the inside out. What he once felt only in subtle moments now surges through his entire being, demanding to be felt, acknowledged, and understood. He may begin experiencing heart palpitations, sudden chest pressure, or an inexplicable tightness in the center of his chest. These sensations can feel frightening, unexpected, or confusing, especially for a masculine who has lived most of his life guarded from his deeper emotions. Yet these physical symptoms are not signs of danger, they are signs of activation. His heart is awakening, opening, expanding. His body is responding to the soul's call to rise into unconditional love. For many divine masculines, these sensations mimic anxiety. The racing heart, the emotional overwhelm, the sudden need to breathe deeply, all of it feels like something is wrong. But in truth, something is finally becoming right. These symptoms are not fear, they are the release of fear. They are energetic upgrades, clearing out layers of emotional debris stored in his chest, old pain, unspoken grief, suppressed love, unresolved trauma. His heart is making space for a higher frequency of love than he has ever allowed himself to hold. As the heart chakra activates, emotional floods become common. He may cry unexpectedly, feel waves of grief or longing, or become overwhelmed by compassion he doesn't know how to express. He may feel connected to the divine feminine in moments, when he isn't thinking of her consciously. These emotions surface not to destabilize him, but to expand him. Every tear is a release. Every moment of vulnerability is a breakthrough. His heart is breaking open, not breaking down. This expansion is his initiation into the true divine masculine energy. The old masculine, the one defined by stoicism, detachment, and emotional suppression, cannot survive this awakening. The new masculine is being born, one aligned with empathy, presence, authenticity, and soul truth. But birth is not painless. The cracking of the heart chakra is the cracking of his old identity. He is shedding layers of ego, fear, and conditioning that once kept him safe but now keep him small. As his heart opens, he begins to feel the divine feminine in ways that go beyond logic. Her emotions echo through him. Her energy moves him. Her love awakens him. Even in physical separation, he feels connected to her through the heart space. It may feel overwhelming, but it is also healing. The divine feminine's energy acts as a catalyst, softening the walls around his heart and guiding him toward emotional freedom. During this phase, he may experience sudden bursts of unconditional love, deep longing for connection, overwhelming waves of compassion, random emotional triggers that lead to profound realizations, and a growing desire to express what he once kept hidden. These are signs that his heart chakra is not only opening, but activating fully. This process is essential for his ascension. Without an open heart, he cannot step into his divine masculine energy. Without emotional depth, he cannot hold the vibration of sacred union. Without compassion and vulnerability, he cannot rise into the spiritual leader he is meant to become. The pain he feels is the pain of expansion, not destruction. It is the pain of a heart learning to hold more light, more love, more truth. It is the pain of awakening. In time, the discomfort will ease. The heart palpitations will calm. The emotional waves will integrate. And he will emerge stronger, softer, clearer, and more aligned with the frequency of divine love. What feels like chaos within the chest is actually the universe rearranging him from the inside out. His heart is not breaking, it is blooming. And through this blooming, the awakened masculine is born. One of the deepest burdens carried by the divine masculine on his spiritual journey is the fear of not being enough. This fear is not always visible on the surface. It hides behind silence, distance, or avoidance. It disguises itself as indifference or detachment. But beneath those layers is a heart that worries, often intensely, that he will fall short of what the divine feminine deserves. As he awakens to the truth of the connection, feelings of inadequacy begin to surface. The closer he moves toward union, the louder this fear becomes. He worries that he is not emotionally healed enough, stable enough, successful enough, or spiritually awakened enough to show up for her in the way she deserves. He places immense pressure on himself, believing he must be perfect before he can return. He fears disappointing her. He fears failing her. He fears that he will never be able to match the depth of love she carries so effortlessly. This fear does not come from insecurity alone, it comes from reverence. He holds the divine feminine in such high regard that he feels she deserves the best version of him. But what he does not yet understand is that she does not want perfection, she wants presence. She does not want the polished version of him, she wants the real one. She does not want him healed before he comes home, she wants to rise and heal with him. Still, the masculine's internal belief systems, formed through childhood conditioning, societal expectations, and past wounds, tell him otherwise. He was taught that masculinity means strength, achievement, and emotional control. He was taught that vulnerability is a weakness, and that love requires certainty, stability, and flawless execution. These outdated beliefs create a heavy inner conflict as he opens up to a connection that defies logic and demands authenticity instead of perfection. As he contemplates reunion, he feels waves of unworthiness rise to the surface. What if I'm not enough? What if I fail her again? What if she deserves someone better? These questions circle his mind, creating hesitation and emotional paralysis. He withdraws not because he does not care, but but because he cares so deeply that the fear of falling short becomes overwhelming. He hides because he worries that his flaws will hurt her. He delays because he wants to offer her a version of himself he isn't sure he can maintain. But the universe, in its infinite wisdom, is dismantling these illusions. He is being shown that love does not require perfection, it requires truth. That leadership does not demand flawlessness, it demands courage. That divine union is not built on idealized masculine stereotypes, it is built on vulnerability, openness, and emotional presence. The universe is guiding him to see that being enough has never been about what he accomplishes or how perfectly he performs. It is about showing up as he truly is, raw, honest, and willing. His authenticity is what aligns him with the divine feminine, not the illusion of perfection. With every moment of introspection, every bout of emotional discomfort, and every late-night longing, he is being taught that love is not a performance, it is a frequency. One that he already carries within him, even if he cannot feel it yet. The awakening journey is helping him release the patriarchal patterns and ego-based identities that have told him he must be invincible to be worthy of love. Slowly, he is learning the truth. He does not need to be perfect to be loved. He does not need to be flawless to be chosen. He does not need to be complete to begin. He only needs to be real. As he embraces this truth, his fear of inadequacy begins to soften. The universe guides him toward the understanding that his presence, his effort, and his willingness to grow are what make him the divine feminine's true counterpart. Perfection was never the requirement, authenticity always was. And with this realization, the masculine begins to rise, not into the perfect version of himself, but into the true version of himself. The one who has always been enough. One of the most extraordinary and sacred aspects of the twin flame journey is the way the divine feminine's evolution becomes the very catalyst for the divine masculine's awakening. Though he may appear distant, silent, or emotionally withdrawn, he is deeply affected by every shift, every healing, and every transformation she undergoes. Their souls are connected through an energetic mirror, one that reflects truth, growth, and awakening in both directions. Your evolution is not only changing your life, it is reshaping his soul. As the divine feminine heals, releases pain, and embodies her self-worth, the masculine feels a profound energetic shift within himself. He may not consciously understand why he suddenly feels pulled to change, why old habits no longer satisfy him, or why certain emotions rise unexpectedly, but on a soul level, he knows. Your growth is activating dormant parts of him that have been sleeping for lifetimes. When you reclaim your power, his soul feels the call to reclaim his. When you release trauma, he feels emotional waves he has long suppressed. When you choose self-love, you show him what love truly looks like. This is not happening through force or expectation, it happens naturally, spiritually, and energetically. The divine feminine's journey becomes a blueprint for the divine masculine's awakening. Your self-love is not selfish. Your healing is not one-sided. Your rising is not only for you, it is for both of you. Every time you choose yourself, you teach him how to choose himself. Every time you walk away from what hurts you, he learns to release what harms him. Every time you embrace your divine nature, he feels the pull to rise into his. This is energetic mirror work at its highest form. The divine masculine is connected to you through a shared soul essence. When you ascend, your energy sends ripples through that connection, guiding him, awakening him, and pulling him forward. Even if he is distant, even if communication has faded, even if he appears unchanged, your growth has already touched him. It has already planted seeds in his consciousness, seeds that will grow in divine timing. He may begin to question his life, his relationships, his purpose. He may feel a sudden dissatisfaction with the superficial, the unaligned, or the karmic. He may feel emotional surges, spiritual curiosity, or a longing he cannot explain. These are the symptoms of his awakening, triggered by your evolution. Your healing lights a pathway for him. Your inner peace becomes a frequency he longs to match. Your rising reminds him of who he is destined to be. And the most beautiful truth is this. You are guiding him without speaking, teaching him without trying. Your energy is doing what words never could. Your presence, even from afar, is reawakening the divine masculine within him. Your alignment is showing him the difference between living asleep and living awakened. The divine feminine leads not through control, but through embodiment. She teaches not through instruction, but through vibration. She inspires not through pressure, but through love. As you step deeper into your divine feminine power, your intuition, your sovereignty, your compassion, you activate the masculine's inner truth. He begins to rise not because you demand it, but because his soul can no longer stand the distance between who he is and who he is meant to be. He wants to match your frequency. He wants to stand beside you, not behind you. He wants to show up as the man your soul already knows he is. Your growth is the sunrise that awakens him from his long spiritual sleep. Your healing is the balm that soothes his own wounds. Your light is the mirror that reflects his highest potential back to him. So keep rising. Keep healing. Keep choosing yourself. Because every step you take into your divine essence brings him one step closer to his. Your evolution is his awakening. And your transformation is guiding him home, without a single word spoken. As the divine masculine steps deeper into his awakening, something extraordinary begins to unfold around him. It is subtle at first, delicate synchronicities, unusual moments of clarity, strange waves of emotion, or sudden intuitive insights. But soon, the signs intensify. The air around him feels different. Time itself begins to feel fluid. He senses a shift he cannot explain, because what is happening is not merely personal, it is cosmic. The universe is gathering its forces around him. Angelic energies, ancestral guides, and cosmic frequencies are working in harmony to support his transformation and prepare him for the sacred reunion with the divine feminine. This awakening is not an isolated event, it is part of a divine plan that has been unfolding across lifetimes. As he rises, an entire spiritual network activates around him. He is not alone on this journey, not for a single moment. Angels whisper guidance into his intuition. Ancestral guardians walk beside him, protecting him from karmic pitfalls. Cosmic currents flood his energy field, elevating him into higher consciousness. These forces come together not to overwhelm him, but to stabilize him, strengthen him, and usher him into the vibrational frequency required for sacred union. As the universe gathers its support, signs begin to accelerate. Repeated numbers, dream messages, animal totems, meaningful songs, vivid visions, these are not coincidences. They are markers of timeline convergence. The universe is literally folding multiple timelines into alignment, so that he and the divine feminine can meet at the destined point of reunion. Every sign serves as a gentle push, a confirmation that the path he is on is divinely guided. These synchronicities appear more rapidly as union approaches, because the energetic gap between the twins is closing. Every shift, every awakening, every release brings them closer together, not only in the heart but in the physical realm. The universe is aligning events, opportunities, and breakthroughs so that both souls arrive at the same point of readiness. He is being spiritually trained for something far greater than he ever imagined. This training is not just emotional, it is energetic, karmic, and soul deep. He is learning how to hold space, how to be vulnerable, how to lead with love instead of fear, how to trust the guidance of his soul over the noise of the world. The divine masculine is being prepared to step into sacred masculine leadership within the union, leadership based not on control, but on presence, not on power, but on protection, not on ego, but on devotion. Throughout this process, he is undergoing spiritual refinement. The universe is helping him shed outdated identities, karmic attachments, and limiting beliefs so he can rise into his highest timeline. Every ending, every challenge, every breakthrough is strategically placed to sculpt him into the partner, counterpart, and soul ally he was destined to be. This divine orchestration ensures that neither twin arrives too early or too late. The timing of union is precise, sacred, and intentional. Both twins must align. Both hearts must awaken. Both souls must be ready to embody the frequency of unconditional love. The universe does not rush this process, but it does not delay it either. It synchronizes it. Every cosmic force involved has one purpose: to guide the divine masculine to the threshold of reunion fully awakened, fully empowered, and fully aligned with the truth of his soul. And when the moment arrives, when the timelines converge and the energetic pathways open, the reunion will unfold in a way that feels both divinely orchestrated and utterly inevitable. The gathering of cosmic forces is the universe's way of saying, "It is time." He is being prepared. The path of union is unfolding. Everything is moving toward alignment. Everything is moving toward reconnection. Everything is moving toward the sacred union destined long before this lifetime began. And if you've made it all the way to the end of this transmission, know this: your soul was meant to hear these words today. The divine masculine is moving through one of the most intense spiritual upgrades of his life. And your energy, your growth, your inner strength, is playing a much bigger role than you realize. If this message resonated with you, if something inside you felt seen, affirmed, or awakened, I want you to type, "I am ready for union," in the comments below. Not just as a phrase, but as an energetic declaration to the universe that you are open, aligned, and prepared for the next stage of this sacred journey. Your comment is not just engagement. It is activation. So write it, feel it, claim it. And if you found clarity, comfort, or guidance in this message, please give this video a like. Subscribe for more high-vibrational twin flame transmissions. And share this with someone who may need it today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for holding space. Thank you for walking this path with such courage and light. Until next time, stay aligned, stay open, and trust the journey. The universe is leading both of you exactly where you're meant to be. I'll see you in the next transmission.